Yo, I just refreshed my timeline and had to double take, because ain't no way. But somehow, someway, 50 Cent is beefing. Not with a SoundCloud rapper, not with a podcaster, not even Ja Rule. Nah, he's beefing with LL Cool J. Yes, that LL Cool J, the man whose ABS had their own fanbase. The man who gave us both love songs and battle raps. The man your auntie still calls fine without hesitation. And the craziest part, this whole situation is over one thing. Who wrote the hook to Paradise? This ain't Glock versus Glock. This is pen versus memory. So LL Cool J is out here doing OG interviews, right? He pops up on the Shannon Sharpe podcast, leaned back, like, back in my day. Let me tell y'all something. These kids don't know? Then Paradise comes up. Now, if you've been outside long enough, you already know the rumor. Back when 50 Cent was still hungry, Rent Due Tomorrow hungry, people have been saying he was writing hooks for everybody. For years, it's been, yo, 50 wrote the hook for Paradise. LL hears that, and he shuts it down immediately. Basically, says nah, he didn't write it. And that's where the beef begins.
Paradise, did they say 50 wrote for you? 50 Cent wrote the chorus, bro. But you heard that too, right? Of course I heard it. Okay. He wrote the chorus. If you not, we've been through this before. Acting like the elves can't bag him no more. He ain't write that shit. That's you. Of course. I mean, at the end of the day, listen, man. You know, anybody who, you know, if you feel that way, then, you know, there's a lot of ways to find out. You know what I mean? So, you know, if they want to go there and we really want to fake, like, if you think that I've been rapping since 8 years old using ghostwriters, like, you know, if y'all really that... Hold on, you try to get down with the verses? I mean, hold up, you like that? Hold on, you really try? Well, the verses can't prove none of that. What I'm saying is... Oh, you about just write battle. I'm saying, like, however you want to do it. Like, if you don't want to sit somewhere and write, so we can do that. And let's just see how it goes. Like that's my challenge. So you can talk they can talk all that bullshit they want. Bring the pen and the pad, turn the cameras on, turn the beat on. Let's sit in the studio together. Never cut the camera. Leave it on. How long we getting? It don't matter.
Now, 50 Cent sees this, and he instantly switches into full History Channel mode. Because when you tell 50 Cent he didn't write something, you might as well walk up, ring the doorbell, and label it Petty 50. Please respond immediately. And that's exactly what happens. 50 hops online right away. Not yelling, not whining, but with that calm, dangerous tone, that sounds like, nah, we not doing that. He reposts the interview clip and writes a caption like, this was wild when I saw EL say this. I felt like somebody punched me in the stomach. I did this joint, then 13 other joints. This is why I don't work with. And before you even finish reading that, he drops another comment, I'm never working with him again. Now understand something, this isn't a joke to 50 in his mind. He remembers this hook getting cleared on his own birthday. So for him, this ain't fuzzy memory. This ain't a misunderstanding. And you can tell right away. This ain't Instagram, comedy 50. This is, let's correct the textbook, 50. So then he goes even deeper. He posts an old clip on his Instagram, a video from last year where he's talking on Apple Music, basically pulling receipts like, yeah, already told this story. And at that point, you know this situation just went from debate to documentation.
It's what unbelievable, but I really mean this. I think one day people are going to wake up and realize that LL Cool J is the most important rapper that ever existed. I truly believe one day people are going to say that. They're going to say, yo, they're going to look and they're going to say, wow, when it comes to the jewelry, this is the guy who introduced all the diamond and the ice and the champagne. They're going to say when it comes to the love songs, this is the guy who introduces the love songs and all the love shit. When it comes to the bad boy vibe, they're going to realize, oh, this is the guy who introduced all the rebellious bad boy vibes before it was done. When it comes to the GOAT terminology, they're going to say, yo, this is the guy who came up with the GOAT stuff. They're going to say when it comes to Def Jam, wow, this is the first artist that was on Def Jam. They're going to say, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. When it comes to the solo artist, going to say, wow, this is the first solo artist to take it all the way around.
And then 50 writes the caption that really lets you know where his head is at. He says, I changed my mind about this guy. I was a fan, but he doing corny. I was trying to help his ass. Forget all that. Mama said, knock you out. Get the strap. Then just to make sure the message lands, he drops another comment. I ain't got no beef. I'm just never messing with him again. I think that thing he said was whack. Now, let's be honest for a second. LL Cool J, correcting someone is like your dad jumping in mid-story. You're talking like, yeah, so? And he's like, that's not how it happened. And some fans felt like LL was low-key sonning. 50 not aggressive, not disrespectful. Just that calm OG energy, like, relax. You is there, but not like that. And that's the crazy part. ELL wasn't even being rude. But sometimes respect hurts more than disrespect. Bezel talking like, yeah, you were involved. Just not that involved. And 50 hears that like, oh nah. This man trying to erase me like a bad mixtape. Now the internet did exactly what the internet always does. Absolutely nothing productive. One side was like, LL got no reason to lie. That's his song. 50B, claiming everything. Next, he gonna say he wrote Thriller. The other side was like, 50 been writing since diapers. Everybody stole hooks from him. L just don't want to share credit. And notice nobody is saying either one is lying. They're just saying somebody lying, but politely. Now, let me tell y'all why 50 is not letting this slide. Because once the narrative becomes 50, really didn't write that. Next thing you know, he didn't write his hooks. He didn't mastermind Get Rich or Die Trying. And he didn't get shot 9 times. 50's entire brand is intelligence, strategy, and pen game. You can joke about his trolling. You can joke about his movies, but questioning his pen, that's like questioning L's Ladiesman era. You just don't do it. Now relax. Let me calm everybody down. This is not diss tracks. This is not street beef. This is 2 rich men with 2 strong memories and 2 egos that refuse to blink. Honestly, this is what happens when nobody in the room is broke enough to let it go. So I gotta ask y'all, was that LL Cool J? Low-key OG Tone 2? Much 450? Or is 50, rewriting history like it's Wikipedia? Either way, this is hip-hop heritage beef. No shots fired, just words. And pride. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. Make sure you subscribe. And if this escalates, you already know we outside. Keep it locked.
Shots, I like to be worked up a little bit. So this is kind of like how I loosen up. I just hit the mitts, and it just keeps me loose, keeps me relaxed. Don't be running up on me in the street talking about you want shadow box and all that when my bodyguards will crush you. I don't want to fight. You know what I mean? But this is how I stay loose, be on the real. And, you know, I just think it's fun. This is my training scooter. That's how we get down.
This is hard to say. I wanna make sure I go about this in the right way. Lately I've been busy a lot, and I know you don't feel appreciated and whatnot. I used to tell you that your hair looked fly, kiss you slow and stare in your eye. Now I talk real foul and slick. Every other sentence that you make me sick. Back in the days I wasn't #1 pick. Now your heart's half broken. That's hard to fix. I had to dig deep inside myself. I can't see you bouncing with somebody else. It's a long journey back to the place we was when I was too embarrassed to admit I was in love. She was my good girl and wouldn't give it up. I can't let her self-destruct. Yeah. Always around. Hey, see you too.
Hit it. What if it's sick?
Hello! Uncle L! Uncle L! Uncle L, good morning! Uncle L, so I want to know, so Joe Budden recently tweeted that the life expectancy of artists is going downhill. How do you feel about that?
Much love, y'all. Depends on us.